Hi there, I'm Erica. I'm going to teach you or lead you through a small sequence of mudras, hand gestures, that are designed to work on the divine feminine, work with the divine feminine energy, bringing in some of the divine feminine. So there's your feminine if you are male or female, and then there's the divine feminine. So the energies of introspection, intuition, receptivity. These mudras also work on the pelvic area, the sacral chakra, pelvic region. They're really great. It's a nice combination to do during your menstrual period, especially if you have any discomfort, any cramping, or anything unusual going on with your menstruation. And also the lower digestion is all part of the area that we're working with, the pelvic area. So if you have problems with elimination, with bowel movements or urine, some of these mudras work on the bladder as well. So it's a nice practice. It's also a very calming energy and very grounding energy. So especially the Shakti Mudra, the second one we're going to do, is great if you have trouble falling asleep at night. It can be a really relaxing one. So we'll get started with Anjali Mudra, or Atmanjali Mudra, as it sometimes is called, with the hands together, thumbs resting lightly on the sternum. And this mudra is a very common one, and it brings together the energies, it harmonizes and balances the energies, and particularly brings together the left and right side of the brain. So it's a nice one to work with regularly. Then we're going to go into Yoni Mudra. So separate your fingers like big pieces of pie in between the fingers, and then keeping them straight, cross your ring finger so the finger is pointing to the opposite wall. Keep your middle fingers together and pinky fingers together, and then the index finger is going to come apart and wrap around the ring fingertips. The thumbs come together, stay touching, and then your thumb tips come to your middle finger. So this is what it'll look like from your angle. Pinky fingers stay touching and pointing straight out. And just hold that there for a breath. And then we're going to move to the Shakti Mudra. So keeping the pinky fingers touching, the middle fingers touching, and slide the other fingers out. Bring your ring fingers tips to touch, and then the middle and index fingertips come around, wrap around your thumbs, their own thumbs, and then there's a little bit of space in between there, so they're not touching, but there's some space. Your pinky and ring fingers are together, so there's that little bit of space. These fingers are straight, the ones that are pointing up. This is Shakti Mudra. This is the one that's great to do at night to help you settle, to help the body relax, to come towards sleep. For the Maha Sacral Mudra, we're going to keep our ring fingertips touching, and then we're just going to release these fingertips that are around the thumbs and bring the pinky fingertips to touch the thumb tips. So from your angle, it'll look like this. These fingers are stretching wide. The ring fingers are as straight as they can be. It can be a bit of a challenge to get them to the sort of ideal straightness. And then the pinky and ring circles to represent the bowls of the pelvis, the circles of the pelvis, that opening to the leg bones. Then we're going to switch the pinky and ring fingers. So that now the pinky fingers come out straight and the ring fingers come to touch the thumbs. So similar, but a little bit different. And again, these other fingers, the index and the ring fingers, are pointing straight out. You can experiment a bit with the openness or closedness of your Sacral Mudra. So this is representing your pelvis. So it can be interesting to notice where the fingers want to move. I'm just breathing here. And then coming back to Anjali Mudra. So as you become more familiar, more comfortable with the mudras, the next sort of advanced step is to keep the hands touching the whole time. So let's see if we can do that. I'll walk you through the mudras again. So starting with Anjali Mudra, moving to Yoni Mudra, so the fingers come apart, ring fingers point to the opposite wall, middle fingers stay touching as the index fingers wrap back behind and around the ring fingertips, and the thumbs stay touching and they come to touch your middle fingers close to, so there's this kind of triangle of tips here, the thumb, the index, and the ring fingers. Yoni Mudra. Next is Shakti Mudra, so the pinky tips stay touching, and then we slide the ring fingers to touch and curl the middle and index fingers around the thumbs loosely. Make a little steeple here. And then Sacral Mudra, pinky fingers come down to touch the thumb tips, and the ring fingers stay touching at the tips as straight as possible. The two parts of the Sacral Mudra, this one and then the next one with the tips switching, you want to hold for 10 breaths ideally for each of those two. So we're going to switch. So the pinky fingers are coming straight, the ring fingers come to touch the thumb tips. I have to talk slowly with these because I get my fingers mixed up. So this particular mudra softens the lower abdomen. It's really helpful if you have hemorrhoids, or if you are a man and you are worried about your prostate, or if you know anyone who has prostate issues. This is a good one to soften that whole area. And then coming back to Anjali Mudra, we'll do it once more with talking through each mudra. So Yoni Mudra, fingers spread out, ring fingers point to the opposite wall, index fingers wrap behind and around those tips, your thumbs come together to touch your middle fingers. Middle fingers are pointing, they can be pointing straight up or a little bit out. Shakti Mudra, so the pinky and ring fingers touch, and middle and index fingers wrap loosely around the thumbs. Then the Maha Sacral Mudra, ring fingers stay touching, thumb tips come to pinky fingertips, and the other fingers spread wide. Breathe here, close your eyes. Two more slow breaths here. Breathing in fully. Exhaling slowly. Breathing in fully. And exhale fully. And with your next inhale, switching so that the ring fingers come to touch the thumb tips and the pinky fingers straighten out. And breathe. And one more breath here. And then on your next inhale, coming back to Anjali Mudra, thumbs come right to the sternum. We'll go through that twice more with a bit less talking from me. So Yoni Mudra, Shakti Mudra, Sacral Mudra, and hold here. Switch second part of Sacral Mudra. Inhale, Anjali Mudra, Yoni Mudra, Shakti Mudra, Sacral Mudra, second part of Sacral Mudra, Anjali Mudra. One last time, Yoni Mudra, Shakti Mudra, Sacral Mudra, second part. Coming back to Anjali Mudra. Bring your thumbs right against your sternum. Slide your thumbs up towards your throat just by an inch or two, lifting through the heart. Bow your head to your heart. Bowing your gaze down to the vision of your heart. And thank you for exploring these mudras with me. Namaste.